Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. Let's talk about something that's been buzzing around the league, and it's got Giants fans talking everywhere. There's some serious speculation that the Houston Texans, sitting at 6'4" with a cap space of around $18 million, might be open to trading their young franchise quarterback, C.J. Stroud. And if that happens, it could be a game changer for the Giants. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Why would Houston do that? But the rumor mill is swirling, and sources close to the league, including Adam Schefter, have been whispering that the Texans are considering trading Stroud in exchange for a pair of future picks, a first-rounder in 2026 and a second-rounder in 2027. The Texans, after a solid start, are looking to focus on rebuilding their defense, especially after some key injuries on the offensive line, and they're willing to make bold moves to do so. On the other hand, the Giants, sitting at 2'8" with about $22 million in cap space, see Stroud as a potential franchise quarterback who could change their fortunes. Remember, Davis Mills has been decent but isn't the long-term answer, and Daniel Jones's health has been a concern, especially after his recent concussion issues that sidelined him for 5 games. Stroud, who's been turning heads with his accuracy and deep ball ability, could be the perfect piece to elevate the Giants' offense into the elite tier. Think about it. Stroud's profile is very similar to Joe Burrow's breakout season in Cincinnati in 2022. He's got the arm talent, the pocket presence, and the ability to push the ball downfield with precision. His stats this season are impressive. In 10 games, he's thrown for around 450 yards with a 68. 4% completion rate, averaging 245 yards per game, with 18 touchdowns against just 7 interceptions, and a very solid passer rating of 95. 2. What really catches the eye is his deep accuracy. He's throwing for about 52% on passes 20 yards or more downfield, which is exactly what the Giants need to stretch defenses and create more explosive plays. His injury history this year is pretty minimal. Just 1 game missed due to a sprained ankle, and his pocket time is averaging around 2.9 seconds, giving him enough time to make throws and extend plays when needed. All of this makes him an intriguing target, especially considering the Texans' financial situation. They're planning to free up around $25 million to extend edge rusher Will Anderson, whose extension could cost up to $180 million, which shows their focus on building a ferocious pass rush. That's a huge priority for them, especially after they've been leaking sacks, 32 so far this season. The Giants, meanwhile, are looking at a window to upgrade their passing game significantly. Their current offense ranks around 18. 4 points per game, but with a guy like Stroud, they could push that number well past 25, maybe even closer to 30. His ability to hit the deep shots, averaging 5 yards per attempt on deep throws, would complement the Giants' weapons perfectly. Plus, he'd give the offense a much-needed boost on third downs, increasing their conversion rate from 31% to over 50%. That kind of efficiency is what turns games around and keeps the chains moving, especially late in games when the Giants need to grind out drives. Imagine the impact of Stroud leading this offense. We're talking about an increase of over 3 passing yards in the second half of the season alone, which would boost the team's passing attack and overall offensive production by a significant margin. The Giants could see their points per game climb from 18.4 to over 25, and their third down conversion rate could jump from 31% up to 51%, transforming a rebuild that's been a little slow into a full-blown contender. The offensive line has been a concern, but with the increased confidence and trust in the passing game, they might be able to open up more running lanes, elevating rushing yards from 110 to around 140 per game. This balanced attack could make the Giants far more dangerous, especially in a division where pass defenses are surprisingly weak, allowing about 7.2 yards per attempt on average, which is ripe for exploitation. And what about the playoff picture? Well, if the Giants land Stroud, the odds of them making a deep playoff run skyrocket. Bookmakers are already giving the Giants plus 15-0 odds to win the Super Bowl. Those odds could plummet to plus 4-0 with a quarterback of Stroud's caliber. He'd be a true X-factor in the postseason, capable of putting up 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against top defenses, just like he did earlier this season against the Chiefs. That kind of performance could be the spark that pushes the Giants from playoff hopefuls to serious contenders, especially if they can tighten up their defense and reduce turnovers, cutting their current 2-1 giveaways per game down to closer to 1-0. Let's not forget, this trade could echo some of the biggest quarterback moves in recent NFL history, like Stafford to the Rams, which added about 15 wins for the team and turned them into Super Bowl champions. If the Giants go all in and make this move, they could be setting themselves up for a similar trajectory, building a competitive playoff-caliber team around a young, talented QB who's just entering his prime. It would mark the end of the Daniel Jones era and the start of something new, something exciting. This could be the move that transforms the Giants from a team rebuilding in the shadows into a true NFC East power, ready to challenge the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders with a fresh, dynamic offense led by Stroud. Now, with all that said, there are questions and uncertainties. Trades like this don't happen overnight, and the Giants would need to weigh the risks of giving up future assets for a guy who's still developing. But the upside is enormous. Imagine the fans' excitement when Stroud takes the field at MetLife Stadium, leading the Giants' offense with his arm and poise. The energy in the stadium, the hope for a new era, this is what every Giants fan dreams of. And if this trade is even a possibility, it's something that could define the franchise for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like ON this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So fans, what do you think? Is this the move that could finally push the Giants over the top? Would you be excited to see C.J. Stroud in blue and red leading the charge on that offense? Or do you think the Giants should hold tight and build through the draft? Whatever your opinion, I want to hear it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions really matter to us and to the future of this team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and insights, so stay tuned for all the latest Giants news. This offseason could be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and we're all here to experience it together. Let's keep that passion alive, and as always, hail G-Men.